Gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another hard-hitting live episode of the Callous Mind Talking Head Sportscast. This week we are reviewing Week 8. We are going over the post-Week 8 NFL standings, and I'm disclosing to you my Week 8 pick results. So without further ado, let us jump into it. All right, so Week 8 started with the Vikings and Rams on Thursday Night Football, and that game did surprise me. Adam may be right in his prediction as far as the Vikings fading. I believe he said that, what was it, last week or week before last? I think it was week before last that he said that. But he said the Vikings would fade, and, you know, this could be it. Now, they've lost 2 in a row, I think. So we'll see how they rebound in Week 9. The Eagles go on the road and roll the Bengals, which is not necessarily that great of a surprise. So maybe Philly's starting to put things together now. That next game here, though, is a surprise. The Ravens and Browns. Where has this offense been all season for the Browns? They score 29 points and beat the Ravens. And that's a cool story, but this is one of the games that actually blew up my parlay. This was the first game to blow up my parlay. It wasn't the last, though. Next game, the Lions blow the doors off the Titans. No huge surprise there. And I got to say, rise up, Red Sea. There are the Cardinals right there, looking good, winning by 1 point against the Miami Dolphins. And but at the same time, the Dolphins, you know, I was just banging on them last week saying they couldn't score any points. They were averaging about 12 points a game, and they scored 27 in this game, but yet it's still not enough. So even Tua returning and Miami scoring a season-high 27 points is not enough, and the Cardinals get this big win on the road. So kudos to the Arizona Cardinals. The next game, the Jets. Oh my God. Are you serious? They lost to the Patriots 25-22. I know this is an AFC East matchup and all these kinds of things, man, but oh, God, this is really starting to look like a just complete and utter lost season for the New York Jets. And, you know, I kind of can't help but to feel a little bad for them. But at the same time, man, it's like, you know, you traded for Devontae Adams. You got Aaron Rodgers. I mean, just what the hell is going on with the Jets? Are they just cursed, or is this just bad luck? I mean, you guys let me know in the comment section below if you're a Jets fan. You know, are you encouraged at all? I mean, do you feel like there's any chance at all of you making the playoffs? The next game was the Falcons and Buccaneers, and the Bucs, I thought they played admirably, being down 2 key wide receivers there. But the Falcons do go on the road and get that win in the NFC South. So muy importante there. Look at Jacksonville. They gave the Packers everything they wanted, but the Pack did get the win. So that's what's important. But Jacksonville, you know, 2-6, they don't necessarily play like a 2-6 team, you know. The Texans get a big win against the Colts there in the AFC South, and I just saw that it looks like the Colts are benching Richardson in favor of Joe Flacco. So very, very interesting. The Chargers roll the Saints, and so not necessarily a huge surprise there. This is kind of a scoring outburst here for the Chargers. Maybe they're going to start to build some momentum here. I don't know, but so the Chargers get that win on the road. The Bills go to Seattle and smack the Seahawks down 31-10. That was exactly what I had picked. The Broncos win against the Panthers. The Raiders play a tough game against the Chiefs. and actually was watching this, and Minshew actually was playing decently until he fumbled the ball, and I believe Kansas City scored as a result of that turnover, and hence there's the difference in the game. So I think the Raiders played pretty well, but you're really gonna have to play zipped up, disciplined football if you're going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, period. Next game, Adam was almost right in this. After the Raiders game ended, this game came on there at the tail end, and I could not believe the way this Commanders and Bears game ended. That was absolutely incredible. Jaden Daniels, man, Hail Mary, and boom, there it is. What a shock, what a surprise. But that was a hell of a game. That was easily the game of the week, just in the way that it ended. I mean, those fans went nuts, and it was just incredible just to see it happen. I mean, I don't know if I've seen a Hail Mary work like that since Aaron Rodgers was with the Packers, and I think he did it against the Lions way back when. I think it was like the year Emma was born in 2015, that Rodgers had thrown a Hail Mary that they converted on at the end of the game to win the game, I think against the Lions. Then Sunday night's game there, the Cowboys actually did play the 49ers tough, but the 49ers got this gritty win against them boys. So don't know what to make of San Francisco from week to week. I mean, but maybe it's just they have the Cowboys number, and that's exactly who they needed to play in order to get a win, because they do seem to have the Cowboys number straight up. And then on Monday Night Football, the Steelers defeat the New York They Might Be Football Giants. No huge surprise there. So the NFL standings following Week 8 of the National Football League season, the Buffalo Bills reside in first place in the AFC East. No huge surprise there. In the AFC North, the Pittsburgh Steelers are leading the way, yet again followed closely by the Baltimore Ravens. The Houston Texans are leading the AFC South by a couple of games. The Kansas City Chiefs are leading the AFC West by a couple of games. The Washington Commanders are leading the NFC East. Man, if you had the Commanders leading at the pretty much halfway point of the season in the NFC East, raise your hand, because I certainly wouldn't have thought that, but there they are. The Detroit Lions leading in the NFC North, followed closely by the Green Bay Packers and Minnesota Vikings, but yet they have a game in hand over the Minnesota Vikings as of right now. The Atlanta Falcons are leading the NFC South. And look at that, the Arizona Cardinals are in a tie, and really they are in first place in the NFC West only because they have that game in hand against the San Francisco 49ers. They also have the game in hand against the Los Angeles Rams currently, and they've yet to play the Hawks. So that's going to be very interesting when they do finally play the Seattle Seahawks. Okay, so my 2024 Week 8 pick results were 11 wins and 5 losses. So overall, not a bad pick week. I was a little disappointed that I didn't win my wager, but of course, whenever you wager and you don't win, you're disappointed. I mean, that's just the natural human reaction, right? But I got to say, probably the most shocking game of the weekend was just the way the Browns bitch slapped the Ravens. But once again, that's an AFC North matchup, so those games are always going to be very contested, and that was a big win for the Browns. And I asked Jason after that particular game, I said, would you rather the Browns, have a shitty season and you have the number 1 or a very high draft pick, or would you rather have your team make the playoffs? And he said playoffs. So, you know, that's a good question for everybody out there. You know, if your team is not doing so great right now, would you rather them have a higher draft pick, or would you rather see them make the playoffs? I mean, I think everybody would probably choose the playoffs, especially if you feel like you got a shot to win, and you know that if you can just get in, then really anything can happen, you know. And that's kind of the way it is in the National Football League anyway. So, all right, let me see. Oh, here's Adam. Bears loss on a Hail Mary makes me sick to my stomach and gives me flashbacks of Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Yes, wasn't I just mentioning that? Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. But I think the most recent time he had done it was against the Lions. But I don't know. They really seem to be pretty damn good at it. Rodgers did, you know, which was funny. I mean, he's just a heartbreaker. But I want to thank everybody for commenting, liking, sharing, subscribing. Thank you, Adam, for being here live and commenting. I do appreciate you, and I couldn't help but think about you, buddy, when that game was going on, because, man, I thought for a second, because I was seeing the score, you know, on the score line on the bottom of the screen all day long, and I thought, man, you know, that game is just kind of ugly, boy. I mean, it's nip and tuck, and maybe Adam's prediction's going to come true, and the Bears are going to win, and then they punched it in late in the fourth quarter and gave the Commanders just a little bit of time, and then Jaden Daniels pulled that shit off. I was like, what? You know? So yeah, definitely flashbacks of Aaron Rodgers, brother. But don't take it too hard. You know, stuff like that happens. So it's just the nature of the beast. You know what I mean? But you guys are awesome. Thanks for your participation. Thank you for your viewership. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all those good things. And please, 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 until I speak with you next time, be good to yourselves and each other. And I will talk to you all again by at least Thursday, if not tomorrow. All right? Later.